I don't think that those are the Mini-Dinobots. What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex Yu, and you're watching The Road to TF5. This is just Webster's. We're talking about Transformers last night. This is episode number 114, and in this episode, we are going to talk about Mini-Dinobots. Mini-Dinobots are trending right now, I guess, because they were talked about. They were talked about officially on the Transformers The Last Night YouTube channel during Super Bowl. Last Sunday, there was this YouTube video that was kind of like a weird little introduction to the Mini-Dinobots. But we'll talk about that video in just a second. Before I get there, let's just go back in time and talk about the concept and the beginnings of Mini-Dinobots. Now, back in, 2013 or 2014, there was this concept art for Transformers Age of Extinction that was released, which showed Dinobot Scorn making his way to the Hong Kong battle, followed by a bunch of little tiny Velociraptor Dinobots. Those Velociraptor Dinobots never made it to the film, but they ended up as a toy. That toy is known as Dinobot Slash. And those Mini-Dinobots, or at least the concept of Mini-Dinobots, was something that was an idea that ended up being scrapped. It's a very common thing. We've seen this type of thing before. Many concepts don't end up being used. For many of the previous Transformers films, they don't end up getting used, but they end up as a toy. So we are getting Dinobot Slash once again in a deluxe form for a Transformers Last Night toy. So I'm just thinking, is this his chance to shine? Are we really going to see Dinobot Slash in the actual film? It seems like it, considering that he's getting a toy again. So maybe they're actually using that concept. As a matter of fact, the film appears to be using a lot of concepts that were scrapped in the previous films. But anyways, I'm just wondering, could Slash be one of those Mini-Dinobots? Hey, you never know. I guess we'll find out when we watch Transformers Last Night. Now, the very first time we ever heard of Mini-Dinobots ever for Transformers Last Night was when Mark Wahlberg made a live Facebook video on his way to the premiere to Deepwater Horizon. He just mentioned that he wrapped up on filming Transformers Last Night, and then he said something like, "You're gonna love the Mini-Dinobots." So that was the first time we ever heard anything about that. And then there was the set report. It was a very comprehensive and detailed set report where Lorenzo de Bonaventura, the producer for Transformers Last Night, along with the other previous Transformers films, he mentioned Mini-Dinobots. And let's just go back to talk about, or rather, let's read what he said in that interview. "We have mini dinos. Those are really fun. We've got little mini T-Rexes. He's just learning to spit fire. He's just come into his powers. It's pretty funny." Now, when I read that quote, all I can think about is Michael Bay's goofy humor, fooling around with Mini-Dinobots who are just running around, and maybe they're just learning to walk and spit fire, and they're doing a lot of really comedic elements that kids will love. And I'm just thinking, oh man, I really hope it's not that goofy humor that he keeps on putting in his films. Anyways, it seems like that's what we're gonna kind of see. Gonna end up seeing in the film. I don't know. We'll just end up seeing it. Whatever. When we watch it, we'll see. But anyways, I just have that feeling we're gonna end up getting that really goofy humor that I'm not a big fan of in the movie. Anyways, he mentioned that they're little mini T-Rexes and they're learning to spit fire. And I just said that one of the Mini-Dinobots will most likely end up being Slash. So I'm thinking, is it Slash or is it a mini T-Rex? Or is it both? Or is it a bunch of Dinobots? That's still left up in the air. We just don't know yet. We'll find out when we watch the movie. Now, moving on from that, there was also this box set. When there was a leaked list of toys for Transformers Last Night, there was also this Dinobot Combiner set with Slug. Notice that it says Dinobot Combiner set with Slug. So I'm just thinking that it's 5 pieces and Slug, which is essentially 6 pieces. So is it a bunch of 5 mini Dinobots combining with a full-sized slug. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. It's a theory. Could mean completely nothing. You know, it's just a theory. Okay, I'm just throwing that out there. But anyways, you know, there's another theory about Mini-Dinobots, or rather a Mini-Dinobot, and that is, remember the Super Bowl last night trailer? One of the most, I guess, shocking moments in the trailer was when we see Grimlock come out of the ground, and then it appears that he's getting owned by TRF soldiers. And then, you know, that made a lot of people go, oh, Grimlock, I hope he doesn't die. And then I read a lot of comments, and some people were saying that that's not Grimlock. That's a Mini-Dinobot. If you pay close attention, there's no way that that could be Grimlock because it's just too small. I'm just thinking that, no, why would they make a Mini-Dinobot that looks exactly like Grimlock? That makes no sense to me. And even though in the behind the scenes videos they mentioned that there's no mass shifting in Transformers, I don't think ILM is perfect. I think they've made a lot of mistakes in trying to keep the sizes and the scales of the Transformers right, and they've ended up making them too big. So in a sense, yes, there is mass shifting. I used to tell myself that there's no mass shifting. I was in denial. There's mass shifting. If you pay close attention, there's mass shifting. So if you think that that's a mini Grimlock, like a mini Dinobot Grimlock, or just a mini Dinobot T-Rex, I think you're wrong. I think that is actually Grimlock, and he's losing the battle against TRF. I think that is what's happening because, like I said before, mass shifting does exist. We've seen it in the first Transformers film where Optimus Prime, he's one size, and then in another shot, he's holding these giant Archibald Witwicky glasses, and they're huge. They're huge. There's no way they should be that big. They should be tiny. Anyways, so they're not perfect. Grimlock size, it might end up being like up and down. So I still think that that's Grimlock. I don't think that's a mini version of the T-Rex that Grimlock is. And I'm just thinking, you know, they're making these films to appeal to the masses. Isn't that going to be confusing for a lot of the average film goers? They're going to be like, isn't that the same Dinobot from the last film, The Age of Extinction? And you're going to be like, no, that's a completely different one. If you actually believe that that's a mini Grimlock, like a mini Dinobot. No, it's the same freaking Grimlock. It's the same freaking T-Rex. It's the same freaking Dinobot, okay? So, I don't know. That's what I believe. And, you know, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense for marketing and merchandising. I mean, that's supposed to be a familiar character. I don't think that they would put in a Dinobot as a new character. Okay, that's like the same Dinobot. Anyways, so let's just talk about the mini Dinobot Super Bowl thing. They called it the what did they call it? They called it the Dinobot Pre-Bowl. Okay, where they introduced the mini Dinobots, and it's hosted by this guy, and they showed off descriptions of like a mini slug and a mini strafe with only one head, and a mini Grimlock, and they look like cute mini versions of the Dinobots, and it looks like a Disney thing. They just look too cute. They look like they're from a cartoon or something. They look super deformed, and they just look completely harmless. I don't think that those are the mini Dinobots. I think that was just like a teaser to let the audience know that mini Dinobots are something that exists, but I don't think that those are it. If those are it, I'm actually quite disappointed because they made them look way too harmless. They don't look like Dinobots. They look like these cute Disney thingamabobs. You know what I'm saying? I really hope that those aren't the actual Dinobots, because when I saw what those Dinobots look like, I was like, really? Are you serious? Is this like, are the mini Dinobots going to actually look like that? And if they actually look like that, is this pretty much the skids and mud flap of Transformers Last Night? You know what I'm saying? Is this like the Jar Jar Binks of Transformers last night? Because like I really don't want that. So, anyways, so what I'm trying to say is that I don't think that those are the Mini-Dinobots. A lot of people are saying like, hey Alex, check this out. The Mini-Dinobots have been revealed and this is what they look like. I don't believe that. I don't think that those are the actual Mini-Dinobots because I don't want those to be the Mini-Dinobots. If those are the actual Mini-Dinobots, then like what a waste of an opportunity. They could have made them like velociraptors, like human-sized velociraptors as Dinobots and made them really, really vicious and do some actual damage to Decepticons. That would have been really, really great. Not have them these little cute like pets, Dinobot pets. So first of all, I don't think that that T-Rex is not Grimlock. I think that is Grimlock. I just don't think that it's Grimlock. Okay, Grimlock is gonna get owned by TRF, and I don't know if he's gonna die, but he definitely needs some help, and that's when the Autobots come in, or other Dinobots, or Mini-Dinobots. If the Mini-Dinobots that look like that are going to help, I think they're gonna need a little bit more help. So anyways, I'm just hoping those are not the Mini-Dinobots, and if they end up being Mini-Dinobots, then it must totally be a merchandising thing to appeal to the younger kids. That's all I'm thinking. I'm just thinking that they made this just because they want to do more merchandising, and that's unfortunate because that's a wasted opportunity for some really, really fun and maybe some really awesome characters. So anyways, those are my thoughts about Mini-Dinobots. Like I said before, I don't think those are Mini-Dinobots. But anyways, that's all I got to say about, that's my little commentary about Mini-Dinobots. The next thing I want to do is I want to give Twitter shoutouts. I want to give Twitter shoutouts to my new followers on Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, I'd like to give you a shout out. Random shout outs, of course. Let's start off with, in no particular order, E. Salisbury Jr., Lil Kevo Bog, Ben Jackson, PHNI, Chum Chum 74, Samuel David Venegas, Mikhail TF, Henry Lewis, Antoine L. Eccles II, Edwin Liu, Mike Hewson, Mason Abbott, and Jamie Black 17. Thank you for all your follows on Twitter. I really appreciate it. And if you follow me on Twitter, if you're a new follower, I will give you a random shout out. Okay, that's for the next video. And the last thing I want to do is give you a little bit of an update on the Instagram Super Bowl reaction contest on Instagram. And first of all, I want to give shout outs to the people who actually filmed their reactions and showed them to me on Instagram. That would be the TF Nerd, Transformers Quotes, Aaron09345, Gruntkiller9999, Mark Coer, Twitch, and Butter T. Now, this was not a contest that was based on likes. This was a contest based on what I thought was most amusing to me. And the winner is Butter T. Butter T filmed the reaction. You can check it out on Instagram. And then after the reaction, he was like, "Gah!" I can't even redo that reaction, but it was pretty hilarious. I thought it was really funny. And because of this, because of your reaction, I loved it. And you win these 2 VHS cassettes of the classic Transformers G1 episodes. They're yours. Get in touch with me, send me your address, and I'll send them your way. So congratulations, and thank you everybody for participating. Okay, so there you have it. And you know what? If you don't have a VCR or a VHS player, that's fine. These are still highly collectible items, and you can frame them or put them in like behind a glass case or whatever. Anyways, that's all I gotta say in this episode. So, do you believe that Grimlock that's getting attacked by TRF is actually Grimlock, or do you believe that it's a Mini-Dinobot? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, do you think that those Mini-Dinobots that were shown on the Super Bowl special, are those actually the Mini-Dinobots? I don't believe it, but what do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. I want to know your thoughts. Anyways, we got to talk more about Transformers Last Night. There's another episode coming soon, so make sure you subscribe because you're not going to want to miss this episode. There's a lot of juicy stuff that was revealed and learned and speculated, and I'd like to make a commentary on them, and that's coming up on the next episode. So thank you so much for all your support and watching me. Thank you for following me on Instagram, Twitter, on the Facebook page. You guys are all awesome. As always, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation. Also follow me on Twitter, Ragin Nation. My name is Alex. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.
2 to be specific, and that is, well, we get to see, well, it's not even a new scene. It's actually something we've already seen before, and that